that was a pretty good trip to the treasure. For this next part, you will need a car, you will need the trowel tool, and you'll need some of these potions from the trench stage. So first, go into Menu, and then Settings, and turn on PvP mode. So you want to make sure that that mode is set to on, and that will give you a little sword up here on your name on the list. And after you've got PvP mode turned on, you can light your blocks. Now, lighting the blocks, it has a radius. So when you throw this potion, so it's one of these guys here. Let me replace these things here real quick. So when you throw this potion, it has a radius. It's I don't know, maybe 10 blocks around or something like that. I haven't actually measured what the radius is, but there is a functional radius to that type of block. So how the flame works is each time you throw one of these potions, it does 2 damage to whatever you throw it at, and the damage takes effect after it's burned for 5 seconds. So if I take this plastic block, which has a strength of 1, you can see right here, if you expand your build tool thing, you can see the strength of the block. That one there has a strength of 1, so that is a 2x2x2 block, 1 strength. So if I double that and then double that again, I've got 4 of those blocks inside this one. And then if I light that, in 5 seconds, that is going to be cut in half because each one of those 2x2x2 blocks has a strength of 1. So I'm going to light that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. My count's a little off apparently, but it does its damage right at the end, and it does 2 damage. So if you have a gold block, you could light that thing 5 times. At the end of the 5th light, it would disappear because a gold block has 9 strength. So you'd have 4. You could light it 4 times and it would still be there. But on the 5th light, it'll disappear because it's doing 10 damage by that time. So I need to pick up one of these things, and we don't need the rest of them. There's other potions there, and you can play with those independently. But essentially, I'm in PvP mode, and I'm going to light the car, but I need to turn on my trowel tool, and I need to make sure that I'm set to clone. So you click the little button here until you're ready to clone, and then you need to zoom out so that you can grab your entire car. And you can see that I've got protection blocks in front of this one. This is an anti-tip block that's sitting up here to keep me from tipping over and allow me to tip back, and that's why it's at an angle, so it makes sure I flip one direction. It has the counterweights underneath, which are titanium. This block right here is gold, and as well as the peg that comes off the center of the car. So I'm going to light the center of the car, and essentially I don't want any of the protection blocks to be lit, and I don't really want any of the stuff down here to be lit, although this one right here will almost inevitably get lit because I'm actually going to shoot it right at my seat. So as soon as I light it, I'm going to clone it. So that's why I'm setting my clone tool. I'm getting it ready, and I'm basically just going to throw it right at the center of the vehicle. It's going to light, and I have 5 seconds to grab it and clone it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I grabbed it and cloned it, and now this one will start going out. And then I can get rid of that one because that one I'm not going to use. It's just a burned out car. This one here, however, is good to go. Now I can grab it and clone it again, and it'll still be on fire. And I can clone it again, and it'll still be on fire. So you can do that as many times as you have blocks to do it. Now this one here is glitching out just a little bit, but you can see as I walk over to it, it's fine. It's just my video is having troubles rendering that. So when I put this car out here, I also put on a jetpack, or a wing pack rather. So I can click on the wings, it's right there. I just lit them right along with the car. So now I have flaming wings to use as well with my flaming car, which is cool. Now the other part is the ability to have all-wheel steering. So you can see how the back wheels turn opposite of the front wheels. Now you can accomplish this several ways. So I'm going to load up the regular car again. Alright, regular car loaded. I don't want the flaming jetpack thing because that's annoying to me. So if, let's say, oh, and that's how you add color. You can just put neon blocks just inside your wheels there. I probably showed that in a previous video. But essentially, when you're on PC, I use the I use the wrench tool, and I set my bindings on those back wheels, and you can just bind them backwards. And that'll work on WASD for PC controls. It'll also work if you rekey your entire vehicle to TFGH, like I do oftentimes. I do that when I have a pilot seat in here. So for a long time, I've had these vehicles that have driver seats so that people on touchscreens can use my vehicles. But every time I did that, I had to go with the regular back wheels, because if you put the front wheels on there, they turn the wrong way. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I put these on here just the regular way, and then I hop up in my seat there, which I'm going to have to get up a little higher there. So if I turn these wheels now, you can see now the front ones aren't turning because they have the neon blocks inside of them that's locking them down. By the way, that's a way you can prevent people from turning your wheels when you are when you're trying to build. You just anchor the blocks that's inside and bonded to your wheels, and then they won't turn. The reason these wheels are turning is because these neon blocks were placed before I placed these wheels. So I haven't reloaded. If I reload, these will be bonded and it won't be able to show you this. So right now I'm turning right, and the wheels look like front wheels when they turn right. So I can actually, here, let me just show you. I can just do this. I can just unanchor that, so those will turn. There we go. So they're all turning the same direction, and you can imagine that if you're on a touch screen and you go to turn right or left, now the entire vehicle just sort of meanders that direction or meanders that direction. It doesn't really rotate. It doesn't really turn. So for ages I was stuck using regular back wheels, and I don't know why it didn't dawn on me until just the other day, but here it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was like, oh, duh. Everybody else probably already knows this, but here I'm just figuring it out, so I figure I'm going to share it. If you already know it, I'm sorry, you're smarter than me, and that is great. You just grab this thing and you just rotate them around like that. You put them upside down, and that accomplishes the mission. Now, I didn't without rekeying them or anything. Now they work the right direction. Now when I go to turn right, like I am right now, my front wheels are turning right, my back wheels are going the opposite direction, so it'll make me do a nice tight turn. And that's how you can do that with the trowel tool. Now, if you're on a touch screen and you don't have the trowel tool yet, this is what you can do. You go into your wheel, your front wheels, and you have this rotate here. It's set to 90, which is fine. So you basically just count. Now, on a PC, there's two different buttons for rotating. You rotate two different directions. You can rotate this direction with R and this direction with T. So you just have to count a few times, and like I said, I don't know what the keys are for a touchscreen, but on a PC, and just for example, and you can just translate this over to your touchscreen control, on a PC, for the left wheel, so this is the driver side in America, the left wheel rear, you're going to want to do T, you just place it where it needs to go, and then do TTR and place, and that does it. Now if you've already got that one placed and you haven't clicked off of your build tool yet, so you've still got the same orientation selected, you go around here to your right rear wheel and you hit RR and place, and that's what you need there. And let me see if that works, just to verify here. So there we go. Yeah, so those are turning the opposite directions just like they're supposed to, so that will work. If you have gone to away from your build tool and then go back to your build tool, like I just turn the build tool on, I select those wheels, and I need to place this right one, then it's a little more complex. For a PC, it's RRTTR, place. So RRTTR, and that does the same thing. It puts that orientation right where it's supposed to be. So that will still turn like that. Cool. So that's the two things I was really wanting to show you guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you get some use out of it. If you already knew it, well, I don't know. I just figured it out. I don't really browse YouTube and try to learn stuff like that. I'm not sure how to even find it. So that's how you can do all-wheel steering on a touch screen, and of course it works for PC as well, for WASD, without having to use the wrench to re-key your back wheels. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and see you next time. Bye.